per year of service. So, pag sinabi mong service, it is not specified, it is not distinguished kung yan ay service is a regular employee or service is a non-regular employee. So, in this particular instance, yung question niya, kung saan magsisimula ang computation from 2012 ba na siya ay na-hire or 2016 na siya ay na-regular. Ang sagot natin dyan, 2012 kung kailan ka na-hire. Kasi yan ang magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Welcome again sa aking channel, especially doon sa mga masugid nating subscribers at mga followers natin sa ating FB page na ATTY Alvin. We are a growing community and magandang araw din sa mga new viewers natin, sa mga nanonood na naligaw lang itong video natin sa kanilang channel. Good day sa inyong lahat. Pag-uusapan natin ngayon ang tungkol sa reckoning point ng separation pay. Pag binayaran ba ng separation pay ang isang empleyado, saan ito magsisimula? Ito ba ay sa date of hire or date of regularization? I-discuss natin yan, no? Pero i-shoutout muna natin ang ating mga masugid na followers and subscribers. Tagatin dito. Yung topic natin today came from a question ng ating subscriber sa comment section na tinatanong niya, 2012 siya na-hire, 2016 siya na regular. Haba, no? 4 years. For purposes of separation pay daw, ano ang susundin? Bibilangin mula 2012 o bibilangin mula 2016? To answer that, kailangan din alamin ano yung mga instances na mayroong payment of separation pay and ano ba yung nakalagay din sa batas natin pagdating sa separation pay in terms of service. And of course, related to that, no, i-correlate natin sa ano ba yung regularization, ano, regular employment. So, essentially labor code ang pag-uusapan natin dito. Now, sa ating labor code, may dalawang provisions dyan na kung saan merong payment of separation pay. Ito yung articles 298 and 299. Ito yung tinatawag na authorized cause for termination of employment. Dito lang sa mga pagkakataong ito, nagkakaroon ng payment of separation pay ang isang empleyado. So, take note, is of your mind, resignation, wala separation pay. Termination for cause, wala rin separation pay under Article 297. Resignation, Article 300, wala separation pay yan. Ang may separation pay, yung Articles 298 and 299. 298, ito yung redundancy, installation of labor-saving device, retrenchment and closure. 299, ito yung termination due to incurable disease. So, ito yung may separation pay, yung dalawa lang. Okay? Now, reckoning point ng pagbayad ng separation pay should be from the date hired. Kasi nakalagay dyan, per year of service. So, hindi naman dinistinguish ng batas kung ano yung klase ng service, no? Walang nakalagay na dapat service is a regular employee. Nakalagay lang doon per year of service. So, service, ibig sabihin, nagsimulang maging empleyado, mag-perform, mag-discharge ng kanyang obligations. Employee, di ba? Ito yung definition ng employee, di ba? One who performs services for the benefit of the employer. So, the moment you're hired, you already perform services. No? So, doon nagsisimula yung service na sinasabi natin. So, pag sinabi halimbawa sa ating labor code na Article 298 na an employee na terminate due to installation of labor-saving device shall be paid at least 1 month or at least 1 month per year of service, whichever is higher. So, ibig sabihin, ang qualifying words dyan per year of service. So, pag sinabi mo service, it is not specified, it is not distinguished kung yan ay service is a regular employee or service is a non-regular employee. So, in this particular instance, yung question niya, kung saan magsisimula ang computation from 2012 ba na siya ay na-hire or 2016 na siya ay na-regular. Ang sagot natin dyan, 2012, kung kailan ka na-hire. Kasi yan ang commencement of your service for the company. Okay? So, regular employment, there's regular employment, and one is task to perform services, which are usually necessary and desirable in the usual course of business of the employer. Ito yung nakalagay sa 295, Article 295 ng ating labor code. Kasi 218 dati plus 15 sa renumbered labor code. So Article 295 ng ating labor code. And then you go to another concept ng regular employment. Ito yung employee has been made to perform services beyond 6 months. Shall be deemed to be a regular employee. So ito yung mga regular employment na sinasabi natin. Although ito lang side note lang, medyo curious na ako bakit ganun katagal ang kanyang probationary employee. Na-hire ka ng 2012, 2016 ka na regular. Mahaba masyado, no? So 6 months lang. Although subject to extension in the case of Mariwasa versus Legardo or Wizard versus Legardo, subject to extension of probationary employment, pwede mapahabay kapag bagsak sa evaluation. But then in this case, no, sa question niya, parang magtataka lang ko bakit ganun. Sobrang haba, no? 2012, 4 years, diba, na naging po, diba, kung naging regular. At any rate, case-by-case basis ang ating mga sitwasyon sa opisina, so we cannot judge based on the facts available. Pwede pag-usapan yan kapag nakuha natin yung buong facts. At any rate, guys, I hope you understand yung ating discussion for today, and I hope you appreciate this. And again, thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next ones. God bless.